What are the steps or factors that are essential to keep in mind for the success of a performance management system?
As an objective, role clarity as an objective, developing mutuality as an objective, improving removing, eliminating performance related blocks as an objective, team building as an objective. You can have n number of objectives which directly link with performance management. But if you say that I am using this process only to bring objectivity, I think your performance management system is doomed from the beginning itself. This is number one. And number two, make sure that all your people know the purposes of the performance management system. A good company-wide education program is essential. And number three, memory of people is short and they need to be constantly reminded. So it is not enough that you conduct once a performance management education program. You need to keep on reminding people in terms of performance management. That is the third thing that is required. Continuous education out of it. Number four, keep monitoring the performance plans. Because people think once you educate, people will do everything on their own. I think senior level should be spending good degree of time. That in fact I would put as number 5 criteria for success of performance management. The higher you go, the more important it is for you to spend time on performance management systems. And number 6, the entire culture should be one of helping and removing blocks, understanding the situation. If you can't be a good diagnostician, you cannot prescribe. You can't solve the problems. And performance management is essentially, I think in some ways, goal setting and problem solving kind of a process. So you need to be patient, you need to be a good listener, and you need to therefore constantly pay attention to these people process in terms of performance management. At the end of it, use the data that you generate for performance management to remove blocks and communicate to people the way you are using the data. Now if you have done all these things, I think you are bound to succeed in terms of your performance management system. And one last thing I would say, don't ever make performance management system as a system of the HR department. I think these systems should be actually monitored and should be managed by the line managers themselves. They should be owned by line managers. HR people at best can be, I think, facilitators if they are very good in performance management. But don't expect HR people to do much.
What are the pitfalls that an organization should be aware of in performance management system, if there are any?
No, I think pitfall, as I mentioned, is a major pitfall is when you aim at performance rewards as the sole objective of performance appraisal. When you want to bring in objectivity and when you overemphasize ratings, I think is a major pitfall. I think many times I have seen people fighting about whether I should use a 5-point scale or a 3-point scale, 7-point scale, 10-point scale. It's a very simple principle, is that your scale is not going to make too much of a difference. It makes some difference, and the difference is if you are using a 10-point scale, it becomes much easier to rate. If you use a 3-point scale, you are compressing your ratings. But the disadvantage, if you are using a 10-point scale, you may keep fighting on whether I should give 7 points or 8 points. If you use 3-point scale, it might become easier to put you into this. But I would say don't waste your time on all these kind of things. I think these ratings are just indicators. Ratings are signals, symbols, not a definitive kind of things. And don't ever use mathematical formulas in terms of multiplying weightages and then coming up with certain kind of a fraction and linking it up with rewards and things of that kind. This is all jugglery, and I think it is insulting human beings. You cannot reduce the entire year's work of an individual to a number and say that your performance is at 3.5 level on a 5-point scale or at 70%, 5% level on a 100-point scale and things of that kind. I think these are all things which have distracted the attention of people and has been a major pitfall in terms of managing performance management systems. In performance management, performance is important, managing it is important, developing it is important, analyzing it is important, improving it is important. And that is what is management, not the ratings part of it. I think that's a major kind of a message I want to give.
Do you think an organization can survive without performance management? What happens if an organization does not have performance management system? Do you think is it necessary to have performance management system in order to be successful?
I think organizations have survived without performance management systems in the past, and I think they will continue to survive up to a point of time without performance management systems. I don't want to say that performance management systems are essential for the survival of a company. But I would like to say that if you have a performance management system, your survival probably gets a little better ensured, or you are likely to read the danger signals much before I think you reach the doomsday and things like that. Why I am taking this particular stand rather than taking a very strong stand that performance management systems are essential for survival of any organization is for this reason. Every organization, every individual, every CEO knowingly or unknowingly follows some way of managing the performance. You may not call it a system. It is some form of performance management. So if you don't have a system, you have some form of performance management. So you will survive. Now what we people in the profession have done is studied all those people who have survived by managing performance without having performance management systems, and converted them into a system and are giving in a form of a system as a body of knowledge. So this is a tool, this is a tablet, this is a capsule. Now will you survive without B complex tablets? Yeah, you can survive. But when you are sick, if you want to, I think, be a little more energetic, do things better, I think you can survive. Can you survive without food? Yeah, you can survive up to a point of time doing certain kind of things. Okay? But if you know what is nutritious food, what is good for you, and things of that kind, probably your longevity can go. Otherwise you eat all kinds of kachra and you never know whether you died of malnutrition or you died of starvation or you died of what is the kind of thing. But if you have a, I think, a good book, good knowledge, you can prevent all these kind of things and say that look, I'm healthy, this is the way to be healthy, this is the way I can improve my longevity and things of that kind. So I think that is the way I see it. I think performance management systems are good tools to manage your performance better and ensure your longevity, survival, growth and development. That's the way I see it.
Thank you.
Conclusion for performance management. Thus it is seen that performance management has become an integral part of any system. Performance management permits managers to measure actual performance against the true potential of the business. It captures learning across business units and enables managers to imitate the successes of the best performers. For the success of any organization, it is essential to have a PM system that is effective, successful, and without any errors. An idea of what pitfalls to avoid and how to be successful is also obtained. Further, if an organization employs PMS, then it is able to develop lasting and a successful company, a good system, cost consciousness, a good appraising system, good planning, counseling, helpful to employees, good culture, good climate, and good environment for working. Organizations that have produced effective PM provide the tools to measure what really matters and communicate among employees as what really counts.